Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Austin Reed. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Austin Reed on Air. Coming up in November on the 4th and the 9th here in Fresno, there's going to be an amazing documentary, and it has to do with parents and addicts in need. And joining us in our Tower District studios today is Flindt Andersen. He is the executive director of PAIN, the 2021 nonprofit of the year in not just Fresno, but all of California.
All of California.
I love saying that.
Yeah, thanks, Austin.
Welcome back, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Just a little correction. Darren Redmond's our executive director.
What did I say? Oh, did I say Darren?
That's okay, brother.
God. We just need to start this whole thing.
Yeah, no.
I'm so used to Darren.
Right.
Because you're a busy man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You only can come in once in a while.
But no.
Flindt Andersen, everybody.
That's funny.
He's going to laugh when he sees this.
You bet he is. You bet he is.
I said it so nonchalant.
I know it. I love that. That's great.
Okay, November 4th and 9th. Tell me about this. This is a documentary that's been in the works for a while.
It has. It's been in the works now for about just under a year.
Okay.
And so it is something that we have wanted to do for quite some time. But because of the fentanyl crisis and everything that's going on there, this was the time to put this thing out. And, ABC 30 did one recently. I
saw that it was like on a local-ish or something? Or?
Yes, and it was very well done. But that was more along the lines of law enforcement and what is happening there. Ours is going to be a lot more personal, talking to parents and to recovering addicts and letting people know what exactly is going on in our community with this, because we are in the middle of a nightmare with the fentanyl crisis. It is something that's not going away anytime soon, and it is time that the city of Fresno starts to take charge here and make parents aware, because we're losing too many kids and too many young adults every single day.
I mean, you as the founder of PAIN, you've been doing this since 2008.
Right.
One of the amazing things that you do is your phone's always on. Always on. And whenever there's a crisis in our community, you pick up.
I do. My phone is never shut off, and it can't be, because these types of situations happen at 10 o'clock in the morning. They happen at 2 o'clock in the morning or 11 o'clock at night. And when somebody's in trouble, we pick up our phones and we go to work, because this is about lives. We're dealing with life and death now. This isn't the days of old. Everybody now that is using an opioid has to be so careful because of it possibly being laced with fentanyl, and they're playing Russian roulette every time they use something. So we're there for everybody 24 hours a day.
So I read a story, I think it was last week or the week before on the Reed Report, and it was from March 2020 to March 2021, there were almost 100,000 deaths.
Yes.
Just in the U.S.
Yes.
And that's overdose deaths. We're not counting alcoholic seizures.
Correct. Yeah, those are just opioid deaths.
Yeah.
And
that's crazy.
It's crazy. And, to put it even into more perspective, states like Ohio and Kentucky, they are literally putting corpses in the back of McDonald's and Burger King refrigerated trucks because the coroner's offices no longer have room for the amount of overdose deaths. And
that sounds like, the COVID situation in New York City.
Absolutely.
A year ago.
And, again, we are at the point now where this is affecting people more than COVID. And it's scary. Now, we're not quite there yet in California, but we're getting there. Fentanyl really didn't hit California until about a year and a half ago. There were a couple isolated cases, but it actually started about a year and a half ago. And now it's almost like people aren't even taking normal opioids anymore. They're not taking...
It's like opioids on steroids.
Absolutely. It's 100 times stronger than morphine. And to even put, can't even put a lid on that, because there's another drug out there called carfentanil, which is an animal. Yeah, it's an animal tranquilizer. It's 100 times stronger than fentanyl, and it's used by veterinarians to put down 3-ton elephants and large beasts. And now China, Russia, and the Mexican cartels have it. And in fact, there was a bust in Riverside County about 2 weeks ago of 41 pounds of it. And that 41 pounds could kill 50 million people.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Holy crap. So, yeah, this is a ever-changing, ever-evolving situation.
Always.
Go into detail about this documentary, because this is super, super cool.
Yeah, it is. We talk to and interview parents that have lost their children, that have graciously volunteered to do this, because this is extremely difficult for them. There are scenes in there where we have a mother at a gravesite, or a mother holding her son's headphones that she found her son wearing when he had passed away. We talk about what we're doing here in Fresno to combat the issue. We get real deep into the reasons why these kids are using these. We get into the fact that schools and in particular schools that will not allow us to bring Narcan onto their campuses. And for those that don't know what Narcan is, it is an opioid reversal agent. That's its only properties. It doesn't do anything else. You can't get high from it. You can be stored for 2 years, and we believe that is something that needs to be in everybody's household, like an EpiPen or a fire extinguisher. Because even if someone doesn't have a loved one that's using, how does one tell when their son brings over a couple of buddies and maybe they used, and half hour later they go into overdose? You have minutes, if not seconds, to get to somebody in an overdose. By the time you normally call 911 and it takes them amount of time to get there, they're probably gone. So we talk a lot about the Narcan. We talk a lot about what Fresno is not doing to help this situation. But on the other side, we've got some great people now that are on board with us that want to make noise and want to get this problem. We're never going to solve the problem, but we are going to at least make a big enough dent to where we're not going to be like other states and other cities that are losing kids by the hundreds.
It kind of reminds me of the days of when Mothers Against Drunk Driving was getting going.
Yes.
Right? And that's kind of, it's a similar story as far as let's get the word out about this.
Right.
Because it feels like people don't want to talk about it.
They don't.
Or they just look the other way.
They don't. Because there's parents out there that do not want to even acknowledge that their kid may have a drug problem. And we're here to tell them, look, this does not define your child.
Right.
This
your
does not.
Child's not a piece of garbage.
No, they're not. I mean, there are more kids out there using today than we've ever seen before. And again, it's not that they're flaming drug addicts on the street, but most of these kids are dying 2 doors down from mom and dad in their own bedrooms. The face of addiction has changed. It is no longer the homeless person that's living in Tent City. The face of addiction is the high school quarterback, is the cheerleader, is the musician, is the smartest kid in the class. That's the face of addiction today.
So the documentary is going to be shown November 4th. Do you know the time on that?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. And then November 9th, also 6 p.m.?
Also 6 p.m.
And that's at Maya Cinemas, which is right off Shaw.
Right off Shaw by Fresno State.
And Save Mart Center. So check it out, everybody. Anything else going on? Oh, you know what? You were on with Darius Assemi earlier this week.
Yes.
On GV Unfiltered.
Yes.
It's a cool conversation, huh?
It is.
Did it go good?
It went well.
And, who else hosts that? Steve Brando?
Steve Brandau, Mike Carbasi,
Okay.
Darius, of course,
Darius,
myself, Tony Hoffman, and Elaine Hudson, who lost her son to an overdose.
Wow. All right.
Yes, very, very powerful conversation. Yeah.
And then also a quick reminder, you've got the Don't Hide the Scars podcast. That's out every single week, wherever
Yes.
you enjoy your podcast.
Absolutely.
So thanks for coming in to promote this. How much is it to get in?
$40 a ticket.
Okay, and that goes that gets you a seat, and then does some of that money go to Pain?
Yes, it does.
Great.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It goes to us. We are a nonprofit, and so some of that money goes to us to obviously to help others get the help that they need.
There it is on the website. People can learn more, of course, at gotpainusa.org. And Flindt, thank you for coming in today to promote this. Good to see you again. Not Darren. Flindt. Flindt. That was so funny.
Austin, you're the best.
I
Thank
love
you,
bloopers.
man. Absolutely.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Check it out, everybody. I'm Austin Reed. You're watching Central Valley Talk. We'll be right back.